My name is Lisa Dennis, and I'm a training specialist with EBSCO Industries, and I'd like to welcome you all to the continuing webinar series for Nevada State Library and Archives. Today we're going to be discussing the business resources that are available through the Library and Archives. So thank you for joining me today. Our agenda is familiar or pretty much the same that we do every month with the webinars. We're going to this review business resources. Last month were health resources, so this month we're going to review the business resources, and those business resources include Business Source Elite, Newspaper Source, and Regional Business News. I don't know why I've got search on the brain today. I guess that's because that's what we're doing, some strategies. We're going to discuss the different interfaces and the strategies that you might want to show your different patrons. So if you're in a public library, it might be a little bit different versus an academic library or a school library. So there are ways that you can show your users how to get the most effective results from their searches. We'll introduce the folders and alerts. We won't really talk a lot about them. I am going to suggest to Robbie that we create another session strictly on folders and alerts. And then, of course, there's always additional technical support. You have Robbie DeBuff there at the State Library, but you can always feel to lean on our EBSCO technical support if you ever need that. And then we've got great promotional materials and different ideas that can help you evangelize and market these resources to your users. So, with that, additional training sessions to set up for for this webinar series, and got to put off today's session. We've got the business resources today, but next we'll have academic, and then we'll start again with health resources in October 9th. And I forgot to put September's in there, so I'll be sure that I add that as well when I send the info out to Robbie. I'm going to send her the link to this recording, and I apologize. I thought I saved it, and it doesn't look like it did save. So those full links that I talked about, our support site, I'm going to show you within all interfaces where you can find help interface as well as a link to the support site. And then all of this information that you contact us, that's going to be provided also within the Help Center or on the support site. So just remember, help is never far away. And after today's session, there'll be a brief evaluation. If you don't mind taking a few moments to complete that, I'd be most appreciative. So without any further ado, I'm going to go ahead and share my desktop out. When I do so, your screen may fade or go blank. One will see this is the select service page for the Library and Archives. Don't be alarmed, your library page may look very different from this. In fact, you may or probably have links set up on your own library page that link directly to these resources, so you have to actually come through a page like this. But I'd like you to take a moment, if you've not used the WebEx system before, locate that green tab at the top of your screen that says View Dennis's Desktop. If you hover your mouse over that green tab, you'll see that little chat icon over right. So you can click on that, and if you have questions anytime during the session, feel free to jump in, send me feedback, comments, questions, and stop and answer or rest those comments, feedback, or question time. Okay, so I'm going to actually leave my little chat box up so I can see in case anybody does have anything they want to add out. I'll make sure that I see it right away. So as I mentioned earlier, and as you well know, that the session is on the business resources. Now, in your library, you can actually create multiple profiles. So you can actually create a profile that had these three resources: business source, newspaper source, and regional business news all together, so your users can search all of them. But you'll notice here that they're separated out. So we click a newspaper database. I can look at sources, and there's Business Source Elite right up here at the top. I'd like to, I can set that data by itself just by clicking the tick box. But I can also, if I wanted to add all of those, I could in and all of the data that I'd like. Nice about this page right here is that it gives you a good little description about what's found in the resource. So it's about some of those sources. You've got full text for over 1,000 business publications. Some of this information dates to 1985. You've got more than 10,000 company profiles. And if you sit here and look at newspaper source, you've got cover-to-cover newspaper, cover-to-cover full text for 40+ newspapers, and then business news. It's nice because it gives you a snapshot of what you're searching. So go ahead and search those three resources together. You'll notice that the page for the state library looks like this. Now you can have your page, your library, look any way you want. Okay? All you need to do is, if you'd like to change it, you can do a couple of things. You can either sign up for an EBSCO admin account if you're a library administrator at your location, or if you already have an EBSCO admin account and you're familiar with that tool, you can actually go in and make the changes yourself. But like I said, you can also lean on our tech support. So tech support can always make any of these changes for you. And I wanted to point out right there in the top right corner, there's the help button. And you're going to always see that help button in the same place in your EBSCO host interface. And then if we scroll down, the page, a link to the support site. So help never far away. You can find phone numbers and email addresses in both locations, the support site as well as the help center. And if I center, you'll end up in an overlay page, so a brand new window, and there's even another link to that support site, link to phone and email addresses. Okay? So, if I had a new user in my library that might not be very familiar with online searching, maybe they know to use Google, but on that they're not very comfortable, you can always minimize search options that we see below the search box. If you just link right here, search options, just on that and watch what happens. Options are now minimized. They're actually hidden. They're hidden behind this link. So if you ever have somebody new that feels a little intimidated by search sources, but they're pretty familiar with Google, as most are, then you might think about starting them off on a search like this, where they can come in and search any word. So I can search anything, three databases: the Source Elite, Newspaper Source, and Regional Business News. So I could conduct a search on let's see, oil and gas leases. I can search by selecting that were supplied to me because I have the auto-complete feature on. So it allowed me, once I started typing oil and gas, it allowed me to select some of the common search terms, but I didn't have to if I didn't want to. So now we've got our result list up. let's take a look and see what we have. You'll notice that we have 800 articles, and some of them are not full text. Look at this first one. We don't see any full text here. Like down here, we see some full text. We don't have full text here because that's not turned on. So, again, thinking about your own users in your library, and remember through the state library website or the state library account, you're probably using your own account with your own name up here in the library. You can customize the page that you see. So if you know that in your library, your students only want full text articles, then you can have it on by default. They search, they're always going to just get full text articles. So you see, we didn't lose very many. We only lost about 400 articles. We still have over 1,400 articles. But think about how nicer this is, because users don't have to go and look and weed through the article or weed through results that aren't full text. And they know if they're searching maybe from home or Starbucks or someplace else, they don't have to worry about trying to find those articles from a recent. Okay, they're only going to find those full text articles. They don't have to worry about stumbling upon abstracts and indexes. Okay, so let's take at our result list. So in the center, we got all results. On the right, I want a few features. And if you've done searching in EBSCO host, then you'll be familiar with these. But for anybody that might be new, I just want to point these out. So we have relevance, page options, and things like that. So your users can customize how their search experience looks. For instance, these articles are based on relevance. So it's how many times the keyword has found in the title, the abstract, the subject listings, etc. But what if your users are interested in finding the most recently published articles? Come right over here to relevance and now select date newest. So all the new articles, the most published articles, are going to show up first. So now it's in a date list. And I have some page options here. What if I want to show more than 10 results? What if I don't want to scroll and I want 50 results on a page? I can change my page options. I can change the way my page looks. I can change the way my articles are presented. I can do all of that by looking at options. You can also do that up on that top blue toolbar here at the top where it says Preferences. You can do that there as well. Customize the way your own interface looks. Now, more importantly, I believe, is over here on the left-hand side. Let me close in. On the side, this is where you can narrow your results down. Even though 1,400 articles are far less than what you'd find in Google, mention the fact that they're verifiable, authoritative, and they come from resources, but that's maybe too much for your search, or maybe you want to narrow it down. Now, put a full text limiter on, but I just really don't want articles dating back to 1969. Maybe I just want new publishers, maybe in the last couple of years, the last 5 years. So I have my date slider, and now it's 661 articles. And then, scrolling down, databases have different facets. And facets are really just these clusters, these groupings. So you'll notice a lot of groupings with the business databases. That's because You've got things like company and geography that are affected or used more in your business. So you have more groupings. So these groupings your users are very familiar with using on retail sites. So you go to the HomeDepot.com website and you buy a washer and it tells you on the left-hand side it says, well, what brand do you want and what color do you want and do you want what's capacity and this. So that's all these limiters are here, the same thing. So now if I just want trade publications, notice that I have a number next results. It tells me how many articles are going to be found under that particular source type, public thesaurus term, etc. So now if I just wanted to find articles that in a particular newspaper, I could do, or maybe to thesaurus term and subject terms and say, what do I want to know about oil and gas leases? I want to know about prospecting. Well, there are 6 articles that talk about prospecting, and all I have to do is click on that, and now get those 6 articles. Remember that they're all full text because we put our full text letter on. They've all been published from 2009 or greater, and every one of these 6 articles are going to have this thesaurus term. So click on the title, the thesaurus term that I selected, or my subject heading, natural gas prospecting. Okay? If you're familiar with the resources, you'll notice all of these tools over here on the left, or on the right-hand side of the page. They're very consistent with all the EBSCO host interfaces. We're going to talk a little bit about the folder in just a moment, but I still want to show you some nifty things that are found in Business Source Elite. But I do want to point out a couple of features that are unique in HTML articles. And you'll see things like company or industry codes in your business detail words are pulled because, or they're available because it's showing that that the resources use different field codes, like businesses, like industry codes, like market industry, market reports, etc. So this information, you'll notice you might not see company or business, or you definitely won't see industry codes in other EBSCO resources. You'll only see them in the business resources. Okay? So, 2 I want to point out about HTML articles. The fan translate the article in one of 30 languages. So if you have somebody that's in your library that may not be able to read English very well or feels more comfortable reading it in their native language, you can have it translated to Spanish. And just once it gets, oh good, it's I'm going to say there for a while it was that, or the transition bar was taking quite a little bit of time, and it would go all the way to the end, and it would just stall for about I was just going to tell you just to wait a minute that it would pop up, but it looks like that's no longer happening. So now you can see your article in Spanish. Next, interface is still in English, but the article itself is in Spanish. A feature about HTML articles, this text-to-speech toolbar. So notice that all articles are accompanied with this toolbar, and it provides you a few cents from which to use, and also some other settings. My favorite feature, which is a download button. What will happen is I click on the play it will automatically start reading, narrating this article back to me. In the accent I have chosen, if I said something other than American. And so for not only your or your that are learning English by immersion, but think about your sight impaired users. Think about anybody that might be visually impaired, and it'll be easier for them to actually listen to the article versus trying to read it on the screen. So now there's an option for those patrons or those users. And I mean, it's a long article, but not too long. But if a user would prefer not to listen to it right now, but listen to it later, they just click on this download button and watch what happens. You're going to see it pop up at the bottom of my screen. Actually ask me, and it may vary depending upon your system, etc. Going to ask me if I'd like to create an MP3 file. And after this MP3 file is created, I'll be able to just take this and put this on any device and listen to it. So I don't necessarily have to be tailored or connected to the EBSCO resources. So again, it's just another great tool that we're to provide the users. So those are some of the features in HTML articles. The text and then the button. Okay, so one thing I'd just like to point out while we're on this page, if users that when they're in and looking for conducting conducting searches and doing some research, maybe they've got a few search terms in mind, but maybe a little stuck and they can't really think of different search terms, or maybe they're not familiar with the industry. Believe it or not, the oil and gas industry has their own, almost their own language to them, or have them open up the detailed record and browse these search terms or terms, because they can often help people, give them ideas about maybe how they'd like to focus their research, or if they are trying to narrow it down and focus on specific aspects of oil and gas leases. Maybe they hadn't thought about the economic aspects, or maybe they hadn't thought about capital investments and things like that. So you can always click on one of the subject terms and it will create a brand new search where every single article has a subject term. So it's no longer a keyword search. Okay? Seen any questions come in? But remember, just type me a message through the little chat box and I'll stop it and answer any questions. I'm going to search. This time, I decided, you know what, I'm not going to use any newspapers. I don't want any newspapers in search. So I can come right here, choose databases, and I deselect them. Just uncheck those boxes. And now searching business facility. On the blue navigational toolbar, we have things like publications. So a specific publication. We have company profiles. We have business source. And on more, I see that there's images and indexes. So again, I can do a search on what if I do a search on sustainable buildings? Or, again, if I don't see my search term here, type in sustainable housing. And search this. Back. You can always get back to that options by clicking on the Show More. Add my search. So it's kind of small to see. So let me circle here. Or under and do again sustainable housing, or I'll do sustainable housing since there's a subject term for it. But run my search first and then applying all those search options and filters, I can apply some of them before I run my search. So, for instance, I can put that full text limiter on. I'd like to expand this and maybe search within the full text of the articles. And maybe I only want articles published in the last 4 years. So actually put some of those limiters and filters on before I run my search. By doing that, I have less narrowed down to do over on the left-hand side. So I've got 103 results. And to scroll down, I can still narrow it down by location. I can scroll by forest term or subterm, etc. The feature about PDFs as well that I'd like to show you. So if I click on, I think I mentioned this before, but I always like to mention numerous times. Any on the title, you'll always get your detailed record, bibliographic information first. If you'd like to bypass that, you can all click on the PDF. Have the PDF itself. And to reading this article about sustainable houses is called Best Review, and it's dated May 2014. Notice that I have access over here on the left-hand side of the entire issue at my tips. So if I like to go and read articles that are found in this issue, I should say, then on just of a book, click and read all in this May issue. So this is nice because it'll be a publication that you like, and this is certainly topic, all and things that are going on with different retail and credit sites, etc. And I'm going to go back to this chat connection because I want to read this later. So I either email this to myself or can print it. But remember, when you're using viewing a PDF with, you may use the print icon that's found within the Adobe Reader. To email this to myself and whoops, I had dot to myself, and I can even select a preferred map. And I'm in the subject or the comments line if I don't know. I can result list at any time. Now here on the right-hand side, your mouse over the magnifying glass, you view the article without taking the time to open it up. That's sure, because if you're maybe you just want to review articles, and then if something you then time to go ahead and open the article, or you can put in your folder. So, if I want to read this article later about prefab homes, now I think a lot about prefab homes and homes that are almost like homes where they don't really look like motor homes, but you can pull your home and put a small piece of property, and then when you're ready to move on, you just pull up to your big and you just move on. So my folder. What it does is it just allows the user to save articles that they might find later. So if I have time to read all these articles, then I can put a folder, and you'll see the folder icon in the result list. It's always going to be found over here on the inside. I'd like to read this article about building in the redwoods. Zero Bill's home. And with this result, I've finished this result list. Maybe I don't really have time to read all these articles, but I need to do some more research. And I can conduct a new search. And I want to find articles that were found in a particular publication. I can search the publication authority file. Source access to Harvard Business Review. So Harvard Business Review and browse. And here is my link to Harvard Business Review with full text back to 1985 on Harvard Business Review. I want to see the most recently published issue. Go ahead, the July, August issue. Online, it downloaded. So if I wanted to just browse through this and again, I can my mouse magnifying glass, and if I don't have time to read it, I can my folder or and title or full text links, and I'm going to have my tools over here. So at the top, I can add my article to a folder. I can email the article. I can save it. I can save, and this article cited in 7 different formats. Your institution has bibliographic management software like Works or EndNote, etc. You can export it out. Which allows you to annotate why you saved an article. Permanent link to an article. You can, again, because this is in a HTML and PDF, because Harvard Business Review provides it to both formats, then you can listen to it, translate it, or view like it is in the application itself. Harvard Business Review, because it's a great way to allow the users to choose how they like to view it. Do they want to open up the PDF, or just want to read the article? There's nice features to both of the different formats. Also, for keyword within a publication. So either do that on the publication link, or remember these search options. You're going to link. So type in something about Microsoft, and specifically in Forbes. I just want full text articles that talk about Microsoft, and only want articles in the past 2 years. And then articles. I just narrow it down by, the company name or the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. I could even further. So use the publications link or use the publication to type in a publication along with a keyword. Another really cool feature about Business Source Elite is you have access to these company profiles. So company profiles are kind of like, I use the analogy of consumer reports for businesses. Unbiased, it's an unbiased report about this held as well as privately held companies. Now, thousands of reports in here. Now, we may not have every single one, but we do know quite a few. Like I said, there's thousands of company profiles. So if you're interested in looking up a company profile, so type in Cascade and Cascade or Cascadian Farms, and that's the particular company looking for. You can click on the title. You'll see over here in the location. I can click on the title, see the products and the services that they offer, or I can just list and just jump right to the line report. Open up this market line report, and I can scroll down. Let's look and see. So you can see that this report is very current, April 7th, 2014. So here on the left-hand side, I've got company view, key facts, keys, competitors, the location, etc. Market line reports will even have things like SWOT analysis. So back, Nike. And if I go line report, market line report, and let's see when this was published, May 23rd. Some of the same that we on Cascadian. But look at this, I've got a revenue analysis and a SWOT analysis. This independent company goes out market line, they go out and try to get all the information that they can out of a particular company and don't go to their website to find it. They go search independent resources. Because think about it, a company website is going to try to promote the company in their best light. This is an unbiased independent report. So SWOT analysis, I'm going to see some of the good and maybe the strengths and the weaknesses of Nike. So are there weaknesses? Dependence on independent contract manufacturers, their threats are intense competition and increased counterfeit products, and their opportunities. They've got a market position, they've got a strong brand, a multi. Now you have some information, you maybe research a company before you invest in it, or revenue analysis. So these line reports or company profiles are great tools for any of your investors, and maybe in your public library you have like an investment club. Public libraries have like an investment club where folks together and talk about some of the different things that they're going to maybe invest in. You can use these market line reports and these company profiles to help to facilitate and learn more about a particular company that may be up and coming or that may be about ready to produce or, showcase or out a new product you'd like to get in on the ground floor. So about the company profiles. And at any given time, I can always add business paper, my source, or if you want to, you can add other things. Maybe you're interested in science and resources. You can put all of that together and search. Maybe you want to look at cell research or stem cell therapy, which is becoming a really big deal in the marketplace because more companies are looking at 3D mapping and these 3D printers. They're looking at creating different parts of organs and things like that to implant. So dependent on organ donation. So look at us. I'm searching stem cell research in multiple databases. And again, I can put my full text on. And I just want scholarly peer-reviewed journals. That I'm interested in. Again, I was doing before. I looked at these articles on biotechnology. And I put this in my folder. So now let's look at the folder. So folders are just save the articles that you can during your research, during your session. And here you'll see over on the on the right-hand side, it says my folder has items. I can go up here to the top and all the articles in my folder. Here's the 6 articles that I did to put in my folder. You don't want to create a permanent My EBSCO account. Still use this feature. Because at the very least, during session, at my session, I'm ready to sign out. We're wrapping up our session now. I can print or email articles at one time just with one click of the button or click of the mouse. I can save all of these to a file. I can even export them all. Up here it says, if I'd like to store these for a future session, to do is sign in. So into my EBSCO host account, and I have a folder that I've created through the Nevada State Library and Archives. And I think that I can remember them because I created a lot of folders. So it says I can't. This is not my folder. I mean, my folder is not. So I'm going to look and see. I have a little cheat sheet, and hopefully on my cheat sheet. And if I didn't, then I've got these here where I can ask in me my folder information, my past username, and my password if I've forgotten it. So I'll go ahead and do that because I have forgotten it. I thought for sure. Okay. Wrote it down about probably over 100. Oh, let's see. Let's make a password. So now my new password, I'm actually going to write it down. So now look at this. It says, okay, you're in your folder. And folder called Stem Cell. So I can pull a folder that I've already created, and I can fold folders. So create a new folder over that sustainable housing. It's email, your email. Don't keep all of your emails in your inbox because you'd never be able to keep things straight. So just for email, you can create subfolders for your research and then put those articles in that folder. The nice thing about folders is that it allows you to save all of your research in one place that you can get to at any given time, whether you're in the library or whether you're at a Starbucks or accessing the resources from home. Then the other nice thing about having a permanent account is that you can set up journal alerts and search alerts. So if you wanted to email every 2 months Harvard Business Review is downloaded, all of it was permanent account, and come up here to publications, and I'm searching publications right now. Hit Harvard Business Review. Create an alert right here. So basically, like I said, a journal alert is going to say it's going to be every month and say, Lisa, the new issue of Harvard Business Review been downloaded and it's for you to view. Alert, great features, and you can create a search alert that actually does the same thing except with a search strategy. So if you create a very search, maybe that you found some great search terms that you want to use and it's going to be for some ongoing research, you can create a search alert and let EBSCO run search every day, every week, etc., and then email you the results instead of you having to go and conduct the search. So if you want to find out more about search and journal alerts, go here to the Help Center. In addition to tutorials that we have on the folders, you come down here, personalization. It'll give you step-by-step instructions on how to create a personal account. And down here, how to use folders, how to manage your custom folders, and how to create those journal alerts and search alerts. Of these step-by-step instructions, including screenshots. Okay, so you got started a little bit late. I'd like to be respectful of everybody's time, so we're going to start wrapping up the session. Wanted to point out before we do is remember what I told you. The Help Center on the top of every single page in the right-hand corner and bottom of every single page, you have a link to that support site. Support site, I just out a training page. So now that you've taken this webinar, if you need to redeliver this information, maybe to your staff, or you offer sessions for the public, you can hear and you can download trainer guides. You can do the video tutorials to your group. You can sign up for additional training classes, etc. And ready to start promoting these tools, the fact that an investment group or the fact that you've got a lot of patrons coming in and asking for business resources. You come right here to our promotional tools page you can search a few of our business source databases, but business search business elite. So if I go, then I'll see everything that we have and all the business source databases. And here's elite. Buttons that we have, we have flyers, we have monitor toppers. So a lot of these things we have to reinvent the wheel. All you do is print it up, and it says, even if this is a PDF, you customize some of these things. So now, whoops, that's about this great resource. You can buy some of these things, and then I'm ready for your patrons to use. So there's lots of great tools that I encourage you to check out on the support site and go to promotional tools. Okay. So with that, I'm going to discontinue sharing the desktop, and I've got a quick poll for you. Poll right now. So, and you just two questions. If you have a few moments to answer them. Did you learn some new tips, tricks, or some information about these? Would you think you would take webinars, or in learning more? And I am talking with Robbie about trying to find some other ways that we can get this information out to you, whether we, maybe a show, I come and travel through Nevada and, try to hit, if we have some libraries that could host some, on-site sessions where I come visit a library, and maybe, 5 libraries have come from a few different locations. So we're working really hard to try to be able to get more information out to the libraries in Nevada. We realize that you've got a pretty large state, and you've got just few really related areas, and then you've got areas. So we're trying to figure out some ways to accommodate that. So thank you to those who answered the poll. I appreciate it. And based on that, I'll take that information back to Robbie, and we'll try to continue creating some different webinar series, or maybe some online, some on-site training. And remember, if you would like something specific for your library, have my email address, because it came. My email address came from the confirmation that you received on your registration. So if you are interested in just setting something up for your own library webinar, or if you are in an urban area and I can get a few days of training in Las Vegas or Reno or something like that, by all means, be sure to let me know. Just email me, and we'll see what we can do. So I want to thank you so much for your attending, and I hope you have a great week. I'll be sure and send this out to Robbie, the session, and look at recording from her. And I'll see you on an upcoming webinar. So thanks so much. I appreciate your time today. Bye.